AnimeCons TV. We're your source for all things related to anime and fan-run conventions. I'm Elizabeth, and this is our monthly feedback episode where we go through your emails and your voicemails and your YouTube comments and your reach outs on social media and give back to you guys, our fans and our viewers. So we're going to start with some email. Dear AnimeCons TV, hello to you all at AnimeCons. I just finished watching Doug's con report on Otakon, and I agree with a lot of what he said about it. This was my first Otakon, so sadly, I have not previous experience to compare it with. Regardless, here's my experience with Otakon. The Washington Center was huge, as was the dealer's room and artist alley. Traffic in either of them wasn't too much of a problem, with each booth being very widely spaced and both offered a lot of neat things. That's really cool to hear. I really like dealer's rooms and artist alleys that have like a lot of space in between, in the aisles. Although with the dealer's room, some of the vendors started to feel repetitive as you went towards the end. You see a lot of pop things. Well, at AnimeCon, the pop things aren't as big as at comic book shows. But anyway, with the Washington Center, it did have a lot of rooms for panels, and these panels were fun and educational, especially the ones hosted by Charles Dunbar. The AMV contest was in a very big room with 3 screens, although unfortunately again the contest was the worst one I've been to yet. I didn't know most of the music choices, and even one attendee told me after the contest that none of the AMVs stood out. Ironically, I went to a panel on how this should have ended with AMVs and found those AMVs to be much more entertaining. The one thing that I found to be the most inconveniencing of all was the fact that the Washington Center was 2 buildings split with a sky bridge. Although useful, people had to walk up the stairs, cross the bridge, and walk back down into the other building to go to panels or other activities. That's actually kind of reminds me of how Otakon used to be at the Baltimore Convention Center, except you didn't have to go upstairs to go to the sky bridge, but the sky bridge connected the facility across like a couple blocks. Anyway, what Otakon should have done was block off the streets underneath the sky bridge and place barriers between the buildings so that attendees could simply walk across the street on ground level, since this is where a lot of the panels were. Something I always wish Dragon Con did was shut down Peachtree Street, especially on like Saturday, and just let people roam around. Kind of like how, I guess down in Times Square you can do that. I know Downtown Crossing in Boston you can do that. Yeah, it'd be cool if cons could do that, but it is a big inconvenience for the city. Maybe sometimes, I don't know, but that would be cool. Furthermore, the bag check on the Marriott level should have been at the entrance and not on the first level. This level had panels too, but if you left the bag check area and went to these panels or the manga library or the Otakon Museum and wanted to go back into the convention center, you would need to go through bag check a second time. I want to return to Otakon someday and hope they master the new convention center. I like the lost and found receipt idea that Doug mentioned, and more cons should do this too. My mom and I didn't stay close to Otakon, so traveling was another inconvenience. Regardless, I found Otakon to be a mixed bag. On the one hand, all of the space gave this con a lot of space for fun things. On the other hand, Otakon should have had more staff, as my mom and I witnessed some people trying to sneak back into Otakon at the back without going through bag check again and using more ideas to make the Washington Center much better for attendees. Boo to people sneaking in. At the end of the day, I did enjoy Otakon, just not as much as I thought I would have. So that was from our friend James the Dark Keeper. Thank you for your review of Otakon. If anyone wants to send us a review, you can totally send it to us, and we'll read it in one of these episodes. Especially ones that, like maybe we don't go to. Like we don't go to being on the coasts now. We don't go to a lot of cons in the middle of the country. So if you're anywhere, send us your con reports and we'll read them. Otapol also responded to our Otakon 2017 report saying, "I'd rather have too many panels covering similar topics than not enough." Agreed. Viga, as seen in last week's episode, also replied saying, "That coat should be your new con look." Shiggity Media commented, "Good review on Oda this year. The guidebook glitch was pissing me off too. I kept setting up what I tentatively wanted to see and it kept wiping it out." Ooh, that's obnoxious. Like 3 to 4 times in the damn row. That was so aggravating. They did fix it later in the weekend though, but man, that was annoying. Yeah, I would think that's annoying too. I really like the guidebook apps and any other apps that cons put out where you can set a schedule of stuff you really want to do. Beats going through with a highlighter back in the day and still having to carry around that program guide. But yeah, losing that, and then you don't even know if you get the same panels you picked up before. But yeah, that is frustrating. Okay, in response to Patrick's Crunchyroll Expo report, Lacuna Craft commented, "I was there and one of those people who came up and said hi. Yay, that's so cool. I had an amazing time at the convention and thought it was really well run for being a first year con. But I do agree on nearly all of your points brought up. Artist alley spacing was terrible. There was next to no badge checks, and the bag check was very hit or miss. That being said, they took a lot of feedback and were very serious about making note of it all. I went to the feedback panel on Sunday, and they were very candid about how certain things just did not happen that they wanted to have happen. They admitted that they should have had given more notice to panelists and others involved in the convention. They also have feedback form on their website that people can use to give feedback on the convention. I don't have a link for it, but I know it is there as I did one. Yeah, those are really useful to have for conventions, and all conventions should have them. It's great that they are taking feedback and putting it in next year. The first year is always usually a rocky experience for any convention. So it's good to hear that they want to improve and are listening to their attendees for feedback on how they can improve. I think that's essential for a convention. Also on Crunchyroll Expo, Troy Raki commented, "Thank you for taking the time to film and post this detailed report. It's interesting that they decided to cold call look for panelists just 2 weeks prior. Why? They had a number of panels that they waitlisted 6 weeks prior. Why not go to the waitlist? The waitlist email itself came off as a semi-insincere bulk rejection message that mentioned that they would follow up, yet never did." Let's see. Yeah, I guess some panelists didn't hear 2 weeks. That's really short, especially if you don't have any travel plans set up. But continuing, on the back end of stuff for exhibitors/sponsor, the pricing for the con was too much for a first-year event with no known turnout. Specific numbers aside, you have established cons like SAC Anime that have larger attendances asking significantly less in fees. Some artists who can't get into the artist alley take a 10 by 10 exhibitor booth instead, but with what CRX had things priced at, it was simply too much. Consequently, based on the floor map, they had unused space. They hid with abnormal spacing and eating tables. Sponsorships were too much as well, which prevented smaller studio participation. Wouldn't some money be better than none? Plus, the small studios could have filled the panelist hole issue. Communication with staff was hit and miss. Some would get back to you in a timely manner, others was no response at all, even when forwarded by another staffer to get their attention. On the CRX Twitter, staff stated that they would make some programming available on demand, but then never followed through. Thanks for the info and your feedback about your experience with Crunchyroll Expo. I think if you haven't sent this feedback to them, you should through the form that we mentioned in our previous note. Okay. Kylie Koods responded to my Plastic City Comic-Con report saying, "I went to this convention and really thought it was a great step up from last year. It totally was. I did a vlog while there, and if you would like to check it out, I will once I'm done filming this. Wonderflex Floss Shape," I love both of those, by the way. Also commented on the report saying, "The staff here at Wonderflex World enjoyed your review. Nice job. We know plastics. Perhaps we should have a related panel here next year." Yes, if they do panels, that would be perfect. They can't not have a panel about thermoplastics. That would be awesome. And Wonderflex World, I'm pretty sure, is in New Hampshire, which is close by. So, yes, totally. You guys should have a booth and sell stuff. I know I would buy stuff. Just saying. Opie Soul commented on the "Don't Be That Guy" video. Basic manners, yet people forget about them. Shaking my head. Yeah. In response to our interview with Viga, Trey Dorn of Nerd and Tie, I love Nerd and Tie, writes, "Hey, it's Viga. I know her. And finally, TMR64 asks, are you guys going to do a September feedback? No, we skipped September. We said that last month. Usually September we skip because we go to Dragon Con, except none of us went to Dragon Con this year. But we kept it the same month to keep things simple and on schedule for us. But there will be feedback for the rest of the year. On Twitter, Parv says, thank you for going to small cons and doing the report. Makes me want to go there. I am too far. Yeah, we go whenever cons we're able to fit into our schedules and go to. We like to do con reports so you can see cons of all sizes on this podcast. Now let's take a look. I can't read today. Now let's take a look at all the fan conventions coming up through November 2017 as seen on fancons.com. On AnimeCons TV, I will show you how to use this is freezer paper, in your cosplay. I'm going to be super cryptic and vague about it. I'm sure if you Google freezer paper and costume, you'll be able to find it, but whatever. Doug and Kate show you how to make fake tattoos. I need that. I should call them. I have a costume with a tattoo next week. And much, much more. We love hearing from our viewers every month. If you want to have your feedback read, like I just read all that feedback, there's a whole bunch of ways you can get it to us. If you're watching this on YouTube, you can leave a comment down below and we'll read that. Also, like and subscribe. We need 120 more to get to 1,000 subscribers, so please share with your friends and anyone else who may be interested in following us. You can leave us a voicemail, 762-ADEQUATE, 762-233-7828. And you can also email us at podcast@animecons.tv. Tell your friends about us. We put up our episodes every Monday at 3 p.m. Eastern, noon Pacific. We also post on Facebook and Twitter, so you can share those. And you can also comment there, too, to give us feedback. So you can subscribe at itunes.animecons.tv, search for AnimeCons TV on YouTube. You can go to our site, animecons.tv, and get the AnimeCons TV app for Apple TV. And watch our episodes, as well as costume contests from our extras feed. And that's something great to have on the background as you work on cosplay. Yeah, like I do in this room, that's a mess. So we will see you next week to learn some cool cosplay tips. And until then, have a good one, guys. Bye.
Yeah, I'm like, I never see Patrick Delahanty.
I think though, if like, and I realize this is going to be in the footage, so like, hi Pat and Svet. If Svetlana got invited as an artist guest, he might come out. I mean, I can't speak for him, but that would be my guess.
Wait, Svetlana Chimikova?
Yeah, that's his wife. You didn't know that? Oh, good. That's going to be a great outtake, Joe.
It's just I've been a fan of her since I was 19.
Yep.
Introduce me.
Introduce yourself, because I think Svetlana's a very sweet person.
Oh God, she's gonna see this. Oh, she's gonna think I'm a dork.
She knows me.
Oh, she's gonna think I'm a bigger dork.
Hey, I'm the bigger dork. Thank you very much.